We're living in very spiritual or religious times no matter what. This is something which can probably never be changed. I mean, just for example, the 20th century has provided more Christian saints than any other century since the creation of the faith. There have also been many more martyrs for Christianity than at any other time in human history. But there's also more in the way of mythologies of supernatural entities, ghosts or spirits of different types. One of these is, of course, the shadow people. Once in a while you can turn on one of those ghost hunting TV shows and they will show you some footage of an alleged shadow person, maybe a cloaked figure appearing briefly on the film and then vanishing. I myself have had a kind of shadow person experience, although whether what I saw was an actual shadow person or whether what I saw just happened to be a strange experience is of course open to debate or anybody's guess. I knelt in prayer for a while. I decided to do some meditation. I sat in a standard meditation posture with my legs kind of crossed but not crossing each other, not cutting off the circulation, not touching each other, but in a yoga-like meditative position with a few cushions underneath my posterior, making sure I had a good posture and I was comfortable for the duration of the meditation. I used a very familiar mantra and repeated the mantra over and over again, breathing as I felt natural. I didn't put too much stress or pressure on myself. I just kept the mantra going, focused on the words, kept my eyes half closed, but blinked when necessary. I kept this going for a full 40 minutes. It was good. It was relaxing. But I started to get strange sensations during the meditation experience. Forms of aura-type experiences, as if there was lights coming out of my body, obviously not a visible light, just a feeling of some kind of irradiance. And then, with the passage of time, I would start to get this impression of there being, like the little dancing flames of the aura coming out of parts of the body, the arms, the fingers. My sensation or experience of self seemed to expand outside of the body, and I became more aware of myself being a feeling of presence around my body rather than necessarily seated in the standard position that we normally associate our consciousness being, namely behind our eyes, maybe set a certain distance into our head. And then it happened. A shadow appeared before me. A three-dimensional shadow. Very strong, very stark black outline. I could tell it was a male figure. It was evidently clothed, wearing something that looked a bit like a jacket. But there was no defining characteristics or visual defining characteristics. It was like a three-dimensional silhouette. Light seemed to fall into it. This thing just appeared and then vanished. And I asked myself, was this a shadow person? Or another form of entity? I think it's very difficult to say either way. But the experience itself has stayed with me for a few years now. You know, I think back to it and I think, what actually happened then? Had I summoned something? Had I triggered something in myself which enabled myself to hallucinate? But what was it? And it was just as real, so to speak, and as solid as the camera I've got in front of me at the moment. But it was just a shadow, a three-dimensional shadow in space, standing proud of the wall. A presence that appeared just for a few seconds and then vanished. Was it there just to demonstrate to me that I should have faith in the existence of spiritual beings? Or was there another message or another meaning to it? There's too many questions, and there's not enough answers. All I can do is to report what I've experienced. That's all. Nothing more and nothing less. And of course to remind you that a strange experience merely demonstrates that a strange experience can occur. It does not necessarily mean to say that it proves that thing which the strange experience seems to demonstrate. Good night. God bless.